got a question that's been pressing my mind lately, and I hope that maybe you can help me out with it. Why is it that whenever we want help or whenever we feel like we need help, when we finally get the help that we want, we get the help that we really need, why do we push it away? Why do we feel like it's so difficult for us to really, genuinely admit that we need help? I even struggle with this sometimes. There's a part of me that's like so self-sufficient. I don't want to rely on anyone else. I don't even want to, and this is another way we put it. We put it like, hey, I don't want to bother somebody. I don't want to be a burden to someone. I got this. The only thing I can think that it is this pride. Our pride says that I don't need anybody else, but then another part of pride is also saying I don't want to be a hinder to anybody else, so I won't even ask. I know that I've projected that I need help. I've subliminally mentioned that I need help. I said, well, if you really were my friend, you would help me with this. Or I said that, I'm having trouble, I'm struggling in this particular area. And now that people are soliciting the fact that they can help me and they're stating that they can help me, now I'm like, nah, I got it. Matter of fact, next time I won't even mention it. I don't even want people to know that I'm struggling in this particular area because I got this. No, no, no. You don't have to have it. I got it. How many people can relate to that? Where you really are in a situation, you're in a funk, you're in a spot where you can't even help you. But the minute that the help that you really need arrives, it's hard for you to even form your mouth to say, man, I'm glad that you're here. Help me out. Or even say, hey, I'd appreciate it if you can help me out. It's so difficult. And it's something that we all struggle with, whether we want to admit it or not. I'm here to openly admit it. It's a struggle, it's a challenge, it's an opportunity. But it's an opportunity where we have to remember that we've prayed for help. Lord, help me. Now, the Lord can send people that He has put in place to help you. It's an answered prayer. And it's almost as though we are rejecting an answer to a prayer that we've prayed. It's in those moments we have to realize that this is exactly what we prayed for. Now, on the flip side of that, an answer to a prayer can also mean that this is something that you have to go through. So just like we have help that comes to us, there's times where we may ask for help and it may not come when we want it to come. What are we going to do then? There's two ways that this happens. Either it comes when we want it to come, or it may not come when we want it to come. It's time for us to recognize the fact that we need help and accept the help when it comes or how it comes. And just because it didn't come the way that you wanted to come doesn't mean that it's not help. Just because it makes you feel a little uncomfortable having to formulate your mouth and you feel like you should have it when you really don't have it, doesn't mean that that help is still not available to you. You have to humble yourself when that help comes. Help is not something to be looked down upon. Help is actually a strength. For me to admit the fact that I need help, I need help, I need somebody to hold me accountable. If I want to remain abstinent, if me and Courtney want to remain absent in our relationship, and Courtney's my girlfriend, by the way, for those that may not know, we're living and we're in a relationship and we are maintaining abstinence. We're maintaining our celibacy until we get married. And if we act as though we don't need help, then we're doing ourselves a huge disservice. We're making it harder than it really has to be. And it's a strength for me to be able to admit that this is something that I cannot do by myself. This is something that's not designed for me to do by myself. So we have to pull from the strength. The strength is knowing that we need help and being able to articulate that we need help. And we have to be willing to go through the process of admitting that we need help and getting to a place to be comfortable enough to say that I need help. That's where the growth happens. Growth happens when we put aside the patterns that we've fell in love with, that we've become very comfortable with. And it's time for us to get uncomfortable. It's time for us to get uncomfortable so that way we can grow. As long as we're comfortable, we won't grow. So we can hold up that help wanted sign, we can wave it around, we can do whatever we want with it. But until we're willing to grow, and until we're willing to step outside that comfort zone, it's just going to be a sign. People are going to come, but we're going to turn them away. So what good is holding that sign if we're not going to accept the help that is right in front of us that can change us and help us change for the better version of ourselves? Let's make good use of that help. And once we're helped, then we can be of help to other people as well.